We'll give a closer look at the NASA Star 2. This is the 2.5. It is rigged as a 2-line kite with a 3rd line in the centre. And that's the depower line. Very little tension on it, even under full power. By pulling this line, the nose folds over, disrupts the airflow over the wing, and basically stalls the kite, partially or completely, depending on how much you pull it. Now, this is the conversion kit that I've put on a blank Cabrina bar. Now, the centre line needs a fair bit of adjustment to get the depower to work, and what they've done is they've put a pulley in the system. So you attach this little carabiner and quick release to your harness. You've got a little pulley. She's tied to the bar here, through your pulley, and back up to the centre line. So you can depower the kite by letting the bar go, or letting the bar out, and when you do that, you've got double the line there with a pulley, which is a very neat idea to give you a lot more travel without using any extra length. Also above the you've also got a trapeze here, which is quite good. Also has a quick release on it. You can hook that to your harness if you're quite confident about what you're doing. And as another backup, if you're hooked onto that, you've got a pulley up here, which you can grab and pull a bit of depower on the fly. Or, if you're a bit nervous, you can actually fly with that under your finger, and if you get a big gust and you need to kill the kite in a hurry, just wrench back on that and you'll kill the kite. That's free floating. There's a stopper up there. If you let the bar go to completely flag out the kite, the bar will stop there. And a couple of knots for adjustment for the different size kites. Very lightweight bar setup. There's very little tension on this centre line, so they've kept all the weight down to a minimum. Once you start putting anything sort of big and heavy on this line, like a normal depower sort of adjustment strap, it weighs the centre line down and you start to depower the kite inadvertently. So they've kept it all very lightweight. Alright, let's have a look at this thing in its light. Hook your centre line. Make sure your trapeze is underneath it. I don't hook onto the trapeze for launch because that still gives me the opportunity to let the bar go or let the bar out, which is effectively shortening the centre line and hence depowering the kite. So if I get caught with a gust or it's windier than I expect when I launch, I can let the bar out or go and pretty well kill the kite off completely. Pull the bar into launch. And that nose is folding over because I'm letting the bar out. So I pull it in, fly real sweet, but well and truly powered up. I cop a big gust, let the bar out. I can let that land or start her up again by grabbing the bar. Real good system. I like it a lot. Did I mention these are really grunty kites? That's very gusty today. Now if you're hooked into the kite, so I can't let the bar in and out now because I've hooked into the trapeze. It's under full power and all on the harness. I've either got a quick release on the trapeze to get me out of trouble, or I got that. Well, I can do the same thing with the kite. Pull that. It's got no power in it at all now. If I pull it enough, it'll land. Keep that in 2 fingers. Even when you're flying that, that's not hard to keep that between a couple of fingers. Get into trouble, pull that line, down she comes. Did I mention these are grunty little kites? on the beach I had no trouble launching this upside down. Don't ask me how it does that, but it does. In the long grass it's a bit more difficult. Look at the well. Or you just slide down to the side of the window and nose her into the ground. Now once you've landed the kite, I would suggest you keep a finger on the middle line of the kite. It can't get away from you while you've got this, and there's no power involved. You can probably run bare fingers along this line, there's that little power. And I keep a hang on to that all the way to the kite till I get it, put my weights on it and get it in a safe position. It can't get away from me and it can't power up providing I've got that line. So I'd always suggest whenever you're handling the kite on the ground, keep that between your fingers or very close at hand. And did I mention, these pack up really small. That's the 2.5. You'd stick that in a coat pocket and you can easily fit the 2.5, the 4, the 5.5 and the 7 in a shoebox.